Andy?
I'm working on it. All right, now we're good.
Oh boy.
Hey, what
did
is
you
this?
do? I didn't order this.
Well, we are live on YouTube. The truth serum is coming live on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going?
He did it. It's his fault.
Mark's here from Chatham.
Oh, thank you.
This smells like some kind of schnapps.
So undefeated.
Yeah, exactly.
Butterscotch.
Yeah, that's butterscotch.
That's good for you.
Wow, it's like dessert.
Yep.
Yes.
Hair
All right. Well,
in the
thanks to Fisher's Chatham for a delicious shot.
These guys are special.
Impromptu shot. What's going on, everybody? It's the Permanent Relegation Podcast. We're back.
We're back, buddy.
It's been like 3 months.
December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian was on the show back in December.
That he was.
So
he jetted off to Germany and
then
left
Montreal
everybody
and
behind.
all that
Yep.
kind of crap.
Yes.
But anyway, let's get the pleasantries out of the way. Of course,
Peter's loaned him out to everywhere. No,
Andy,
Chris,
Yep. Peter in the house.
Oh hey,
hey, what's up, Peter?
oh, what'd that guy get here?
A lot has happened since we were last on the air.
Yes.
You have become a dad for the third time.
For a third time, yes, newborn boy.
Newborn boy.
Yes.
They know what causes that now.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I looked at my wife and I said, "How did that happen?" And she goes, "I just can't quite figure it out." And I said, "We'll figure it out one day, baby. Let's just keep doing what we're doing because we shouldn't change.
Just keep
anything."
trying.
Right.
Just keep trying.
Yep. Get good at it.
So beautiful baby boy.
Yep.
So congratulations
Mr.
to you,
Thomas Kieran. Mr.
Mhm.
Kieran.
Yep, Mr. Kieran.
Yep.
And then also we're doing a show on a Monday because tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
And it's Chris and his wife's anniversary tomorrow
Yes.
too.
So there's that. Geez, double. I know.
Yes.
It's
What
not
was
about,
that wedding like?
it was
awesome.
It was a huge party, gigantic. I mean, you have her entire family, the Larkin family,
Yep.
have Ball and Murphy. So it was a giant Irish, just
There was
kind of a drunk fest.
there
It
was
amazing.
Irish car bomb cupcakes. That was there.
Yeah, they had, I mean, all the liquor you could want, green stuff. But yeah, there was the Irish car bomb cupcakes were the number one hit. I didn't get to try any of them. Apparently they were amazing, but they were gone before I even got close to them. So,
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
all right, sounds good.
So congratulations to
So-
you and
So
your
shout out
missus.
to Annalise. Thank you for the wonderful time you've put up with me because I know it ain't easy, baby. So I appreciate you.
We also have a new website up and running.
That we do. Got that done. PermanentRelegation.com is back. We had it.
Mhm.
Went on hiatus.
Yep.
Got that domain back.
Got that domain back.
Got it back. And we're ready to go. And yeah, we're good. So if you want to check us out, PermanentRelegation.com, we're going to have what we have currently going on,
Mhm.
upcoming shows.
Yep.
We're looking at adding some news front on there as well, but we'll have
Yep.
all the media. So latest videos, episodes, as well as pictures from all of the events we're going to have out, as well as our friends. I mean, check it out because we have some great links to some awesome supporters and just friends of Indy 11. I mean, that's really, we do a lot, but really we focus on these guys, and this is what our passion is. So
Definitely.
check those guys out.
We'll have some content on there too.
Yep.
I think
Content?
we're working. Yeah, we're working on getting some writers to write some blogs and things like that. Some people who have already written some things
We're
for
going big, Peter.
Indy 11.
Big this year. Big.
Yes,
Right.
giant, huge.
I mean, in the scheme of what you deal with on a day-to-day basis, I get it. But
Yes,
right, huge,
which you've even seemed like you've been busy today, even with
nonstop.
tweeting out a picture. Yes, and eating some delicious pizza. Yes, and a schlaps, of course. So anyway, episode 12 is we welcome the first ever third time guest of the show.
Third
Of the
time.
Permanent
Well, I didn't get to be 11.
Yeah, Christian was
Christian
11.
was 11.
Sorry.
Now you were 11
You're never coming back,
when
Christian.
we first when we first started. When we first started, we changed the numbers of our episodes to accommodate you the first time we were on the show to be 11, even though it was episode 7.
we did it.
Exciting news.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
But to get one more sappy thing out of the way, you and your staff and the team have been extremely helpful with us on this journey that we like to call a podcast. Even from the very beginnings when we were in a different bar and we didn't have maybe 50 people that followed us all the time. So you guys have been really, really good to us and helpful with us for
Right back
everything
at
that
you.
we've done. So we really appreciate it.
Well, it's funny as I got thinking about this too was there's been some things that have come to light in some local media circles, and I just got I look at it that I think not necessarily publicity, but just talking without having an agenda, and having somebody who gets a word out about the team for just the love of what it is without the agenda is always good. And from the get-go, remember we talked about that there just wasn't any talking. There was no talking in a lot of local media circles about the team, and that there was more coverage coming from little venues like this than there was. So, I mean, I know that's why you guys really allowed us access, but at the same time, you guys have stayed on, and you at any point you could have said, listen, we've had great success. We're a successful organization.
We're too big for our britches.
Yeah. We prefer terrestrial radio.
Britches.
Yeah.
But Peter, that would go against everything that we know about you, and that's the one reason everybody knows.
I do have big britches.
No. So it's in light of what he said, absolutely. You guys have been amazing, and Kluter and Molly and all those guys there, Gijo, all those guys have been so great to us. I can't thank you enough, and I have no idea how you found such an amazing group of people.
Shocking.
Yeah.
To agree to work with you, even.
I mean, jeez. Like, that
God
Peter
bless
Wilt guy. God. Okay.
We've heard
So-
stories. And finally, from the staff, from Indy 11 staff, we're actually going to be giving away a couple tickets for the home opener on April 11th.
I'm actually really excited about that game as being a longtime Real Madrid fan.
Yep.
To see Raul come back and actually be able to watch him in person, because obviously I had the budgetary concerns of being able to fly over forever and ever watch him as a legend. I mean, he's still a legend for what he's done, and to see him on this level and to whoop their ass. I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
Number one, Indy 11 to take the win.
You
And,
always love a win against New York.
yeah, in
any sport.
I think we're the only team that the Cosmos has not beaten.
Yeah.
Got to keep that streak
That's very
going.
true. That's very true.
Right.
So let's get to it.
Yeah, we're keeping
Lots
this
to talk
concise
about.
for you, buddy. So I know your time is important, and we're going to keep it to that. So as Andy pounds down 9.8% beers, so this will be good.
Mhm.
This is going to go
Breakfast,
well.
Founders Breakfast Stout.
Yeah.
Thank you, Founders.
Take another hit.
What are you drinking?
Flat 12 Hinchtown.
Yep. And
4.0 alcohol by volume. Schlaps.
Yes.
the Schlaps. And for those who are new to anything involving
Literally been
Peter
under a
Wilt,
rock.
yes,
It would be Milwaukee's Black and Tan, Schlitz on the bottom, the beer that made Milwaukee famous,
That's right.
and Pabst Blue Ribbon on top.
I actually ran into somebody from Milwaukee at the old place that we used to do the show at.
Did you quiz them?
I
on
did.
Schlaps?
I said, "Have you ever heard of a Schlaps? Because you're a general manager of a bar. Have you ever heard of it?" And she's like, "Yeah. Who's from Milwaukee and hasn't heard of Schlaps?"
You know, that gives me such pride because as you guys know, I don't know if the listeners know, but I did invent, I haven't done a lot in my life, but that I did. I think it may go on my tombstone. I invented the Schlaps on August 28th, I believe it was 2008 at the Highbury Pub.
That was on my daughter's birthday. Man, this is great. Well done,
keep
dude.
going.
Kismet.
You're
It's kismet.
amazing. This is great.
I waited. I thought of it a week earlier. I said, nope, I have to wait for Chris's daughter's birthday.
Peter,
Even though I'm going to
you're
meet some
amazing.
guy on a podcast,
at some point randomly at a bar up in Noblesville, and he's going to eat some habanero peppers in front of me.
and then he stopped himself and he said, "What the hell is Noblesville?"
right.
Yeah, the peppers. The
Yeah,
habanero
yes,
That's still on YouTube.
as it should be.
Yes,
Yep.
that wasn't a good idea.
You know,
great.
We
it
actually,
could be the new ALS challenge.
It was,
I think there is a challenge
pepper,
going
yeah.
on right now that is a chugging challenge. That people are chugging beer and donating money to people and chugging a beer and saying, "I challenge these
donating
three
it to their
people."
local bar, apparently.
Yeah.
So, all
Until
right.
yesterday. I think habanero pepper
there you go.
chomping is the future.
Ghost pepper chomping.
Well, no, the new is the Carolina Reaper. That's the
Okay.
newest, hottest. So.
That doesn't sound very promising.
Bad, right.
So
okay.
not only has a lot of stuff happened with us
Yep.
in the podcast world,
lot
a ton has
there.
happened in terms of
Yes.
Indy 11, and definitely wanted to have you on the first episode of the new season.
We
To
have a
kind
whole
of,
new team.
yeah,
No, it's,
there's some returning players,
absolutely there are.
some
Yes.
returning players.
Yes.
So kind of go into kind of off season like planning and things like that, and what kind of preparations are going into April 11th. Well, April 4th. Sorry.
April 4th.
Yeah, I mean, along with the coaches, I think a very systemic analysis was done of the team at the end of last season. We looked at the roster and who we wanted to keep and bring back, and then what spots we wanted to upgrade for the next season. And for the most part, we were able to keep the guys we wanted. Real pleased with that. And I really feel that the changes in the offseason have significantly upgraded the team at every position. We're going to have real competition, I think, at every position. And there's more signings coming that's going to clarify that, where really every position on the field is going to be a battle. Those training sessions during the week are going to be important to determine who lines up at the start of the game on Saturday.
You definitely teased one of those today, right? The
what? Did
what?
I tease something?
What? I mean, a
Can
conveniently
you?
placed-
Is there any kind of exclusives, basically, that you can give us in terms of?
Let's play a guessing game.
Yes, let's
I had a message into Mr. Colluder
to see if you
it
can
was
say
okay.
something. Yeah, and what Mr. Kluter say?
He just responded at 8:08.
John, don't let me down, buddy.
The edible time 8:08.
Yes, right.
He says, "Sorry, just seen this. I'm all right with drawing a little ire from the league office if you want to push it out there."
Yeah.
Is John Colluder the man?
John
or
Kluter.
what?
John Kluter is also the guy who's giving away the tickets to the home opener.
Do either of you watch House of Cards? Do you either one of you House of Cards fans?
Is that the one with
Kevin
Kevin
Spacey?
Spacey?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
right,
High five to that.
Okay. No, it's a great show. What are you high fiving about? Anyways, never mind then. My reference for John Colluder is just
Well,
down the drain.
there might be listeners that do watch House of Cards.
I picture John Colluder in the Indy 11 offices a lot like the Doug Stamper for and those that watch House of Cards will know what I mean.
Okay.
He kind of just covers everything and covers up everybody, all the dealings.
so he covers up everything.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
So that being said, what you got for us? And
Do you want to give your prediction of who you think it is?
I think his name.
Let me give you 3 possible answers.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
How about we do 3 possible answers and then we reveal at the end of the show who the new signee is? You see how we hold the listeners on,
Yeah.
and then we give it to them at the end.
Or somebody
Yeah.
can guess. We will give them 2 free tickets.
No,
Nope.
no, I don't like that one.
Okay. Good. Sounds good.
Because if we ask Peter to come up with the question, he's going to come up with some awesome stuff.
That's very true.
Yeah. Let's go to some other topics and
Okay.
come back to that one.
All right, so we
It'll keep the listeners engaged.
Oh, of course.
so
Because
by
they
the
won't care about anything I say
yes,
for the next 35 minutes.
so right now by the end of the show, you will know who the new signee is on the Indy 11 roster, straight from the mouth of.
This feels like
Peter Wilt.
clickbait. Click it, you read it, and it's
That's
still
exactly-
not there.
yep, there we
There's
go.
nothing there. Okay.
And Lewis from Noblesville said, "Freaking love House of Cards, soccer and House of Cards. The show doesn't get better."
there you go. See?
There you go.
Bam.
He also
All right.
was wondering if we were hating on Noblesville. I said, "No hate from Noblesville."
Used to live in Noblesville.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So moving on.
Good
So
place to have been from.
I mean,
I love Sid's Cafe. Just for the
Yes,
record,
yes, Sid's,
I'm a
yeah.
big fan of Sid's.
Sid's is all right.
It's
Sid's
got
is all
the
right.
shuffle puck game.
Heck yeah.
And it's got frickles and a great breaded pork
Ha-
tenderloin
have you
sandwich.
been to the library cafe
That's
place
Carmel.
in Carmel? Woody's?
Yes, in fact, I had a bison
Uh-huh.
meatballs,
They have the shuffleboard as well.
and
down
that
there.
was my bison.
all
Oh!
this meat.
Yeah, we got to talk about that now.
Yep. Let's do it. We might as well. I mean, we never
open
stay on
that
topic
door.
anyways.
We're
Let's
not
do
gonna
it.
that door.
All right,
You
so
should
you
know-
have
you should
something
know
new
better.
going on.
You
Okay,
should know
that's fine.
better.
So it's just let's
Well-
deviate. Okay, so we got number 1.
Yes.
We got
I just wanna
part A.
I want to say some behind the scenes action is that we've both been really hyped about getting back on the air and
Yeah.
talking to everybody and promoting the team and all that kind of stuff. This guy is ready, and he was doing his research, creating an outline. So proud of him.
Because I want to keep you on time, just so that because you have things
Are
to
we
do, man.
limited to an hour, or can this go 2 hours?
We could go as long as you
Yeah.
want to go, buddy.
Yeah, because we're kind
I
of
was doing
known
this
for
for
longer
you.
shows.
I know. I was doing this for you.
No,
I wanted to make it
a buddy
concise.
of mine from San Francisco is meeting me here at 9, but he can wait.
Okay, sure. Screw it.
You know
Okay.
what? We'll talk as long as you.
He can join us.
Yeah,
on
you
here.
can bring the buddy up here.
Yeah,
I don't care.
That all works.
So anyway, you are doing a challenge, a self-imposed
It's
challenge.
not self-imposed. My nephew
Okay.
challenged me, my adult nephew, Liam McGilligan. He
Okay.
might be a little Irish. At Christmas time last year, I found out that he had been keeping track in 2014 of how many different animals he had eaten.
consumed. That's awesome.
So you got the basic ones. He did, like cow, pig, lamb, turkey, real quick.
chicken, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but by December he was struggling. I actually helped him out. I stopped at a wild game butcher Those places do exist.
Mhm.
And I bought him some beef sticks. Well, not truly
Ooh,
beef
some
sticks.
beef sticks.
Just an ostrich stick, an elk
Ooh.
stick,
Ooh.
bison stick.
Yep.
I love
A number of those. He ended up with 27 different animals, which, by the
Wow.
way, fish counts as one category,
Yes,
one
agreed.
animal. Now, shellfish is different. So a mussel
okay.
is different from an oyster, from a scallop, and all
Right.
that stuff.
Absolutely.
But so he did 27, and that sounded like a big number to me. And I said, I'm going to try it in 2015. You know, that was my New Year's resolution.
Okay.
Well, that and be more patient with people.
Okay.
You're patient
Yeah.
ish.
I got one that I've lost, but I'm still working. This animal thing is working out great.
Oh, hey, 50% still on baseball. 50% is a pretty
Hall of
solid
Fame,
average.
baby.
Have 500, baby.
Hall of
I'm
Fame.
amazing. Tony Gwynn would be jealous.
Yes.
So in January, I got off to a hot start. You know, I did all the basics. You know, you got out the lamb and the pig and the cow and the turkey. And I got up to 11 by the end of January. 11 different animals. You know, fish was
Yeah.
knocked out.
Okay.
The shrimp and everything. So I'm thinking, you know, I was up on my nephew. He's still doing it. So I was up on him 11 to 8 because he's got to go back to 0
Oh,
start of
okay.
the year. So I'm up 11 to 8 after January, and I'm thinking it's pretty good. You know, he's like, yeah, whatever. It's tortoise and the hare. You're going to slow down.
Right.
Because it does get harder as you get along. You know,
So are you guys keeping score? Like,
oh,
is there-
yeah, I've
is
got
there
a
like
spreadsheet.
Oh, you got a spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Look at-
Excellent.
Yeah. But my nephew's a commissioner of this 2-team league.
Okay.
But you know, next year maybe you can expand
Expansion.
it out into
Expansion.
other things.
Yeah. Well, there's a rights fee to join.
Oh,
Oh.
it's almost like a you pick 'em.
So in February, I thought, oh, am I going to be able to do more? And I did. You know, 10. I got up to 21 by the end of February.
So you've already
Double
eaten
digits.
21 different animals.
That was in February. We're already to
Oh,
March.
yeah, we're middle of March
16th.
now. Where are you at?
I'm at 24.
Where's he at?
He won't tell me.
Did he? He's
He's low.
sandbagging.
Well, I know he's saying he's impressed with my number, so I think he's in the teens.
Do you think he's like kind of messing with you, and he's going to come back with like a text and be like, "Bam, 30." Son,
How are
what?
you proving this? How do you prove you
There's-
taking a
there's
photo?
There's a certain honesty. Well, I do. I tweet everything I do.
I was going to
but,
say, you asked this guy if he's taking
No,
a picture.
Right, but that's one side of it. But what about the other side? No.
Yeah, he's an honest kid.
Okay.
I can trust him. I
All
don't
right.
know if he can trust me. That's
All
why
right.
I take the photos. So I'm up to 24. But like last night, I was at a nice restaurant in Milwaukee and the Bayview area. And they had oysters on the menu, and I hadn't had oysters yet. But they also had Brussels sprout salad as an appetizer, and I really wanted that, and I wasn't going to get both. I decided, I can always get oysters. It's a fairly common menu
true.
item,
Yep.
so I let it go. I'm saving it for the future.
Okay.
But I had an opportunity, I thought, to get kangaroo about a month ago. The server offered the special of the day was kangaroo.
Yeah.
I was like, "Brah!" And then she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, that was last night."
Ah.
But
They
she
didn't
said,
have any like hanging out in the back?
tonight was quail. So
Yeah.
I did get quail out of the way that night.
So let me get this straight. Wait. I'm finding a small issue with this breakdown of animals. So fish is all just fish,
Yeah,
but wait,
birds
but
can be
birds
different.
are all different, huh?
I'm not the commissioner. I don't make the rules.
Oh,
Now-
so he made this rule.
Yes.
Now, here's a question.
I just live
Because
by
not
them.
all fish taste the same and is even remotely close to being.
The theory
edible.
is that they all look the same, which I don't agree with either. But
right. Okay.
Question from Twitter. Speaking of tortoise and the hare, have you eaten turtle and rabbit?
okay, sore subject.
Oh,
Oh no.
So the place I went to last night, I went to because they have rabbit on the menu, but they were out of it.
Okay.
Not happy. Also last night,
He's fired up.
March-
Peter Will's fired up.
March 15th at Don Quixote, the Spanish restaurant in Valparaiso, Indiana,
Yeah.
is their annual
Getting all sorts of plugs.
wild game buffet.
Okay.
Oh, there's a
But
wild
it's
game.
once a year, $50. It is a buffet.
Is there a line out the door because it's once a year?
I've never been.
Oh, okay.
I think you have to make reservations. They have bear, they have turtle. Speaking of tortoise,
Okay.
and ostrich and all the other things. But I couldn't go. I couldn't get there. So, and it's once a year. I'm not going to be able to try again until next year. Very frustrating because I think I could have knocked out 5 or 10 of them.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe tortoise and turtle are actually two different things.
Ooh, that would have to go to the
count.
commissioner.
Check with the commissioner. They are.
Check
They're
with the
two
commissioner.
Well, some tortoises are probably illegal, and I could be jailed.
Same as some turtles are very illegal, like sea turtles.
This
Ooh,
is
not.
true.
Yes.
Cannot eat them.
Right.
So is there
Unless
Unless you're in
nibble on their
China.
toes?
Unless you're in China.
is
Wait.
there is there an illegal category? Is there a special bonus for something?
Like
that's
shark fin soup, can't eat that.
blowfish? Can you have blowfish?
I'm pretty certain for the league
That's a
purposes,
fish.
you can
Yeah.
eat whatever you want.
Okay.
Oh, sweet. So rats and possums
And people.
you need to be going with Adam Zimmer around the country
Yes.
and a Bizarre Eats America.
Yes.
He would have you with raccoon, possum, everything you can
I'm down
find.
with that.
Yeah.
I was with my uncle. He's a farmer in southern Wisconsin the other day, and he said, I got some squirrel back home.
Yeah, dude, I've eaten.
I can do that. And think of the
lot of it.
insects,
Yeah.
chocolate covered anything.
Yes,
I can eat anything
they're
if there's
great.
chocolate on it.
well that's true. Or if you could wrap it in bacon, 2 in 1.
Harking back. Harking back.
Oh, you already got
Oh,
it.
so I
Oh,
did
yeah.
wild boar.
Sorry.
I did wild boar
Okay.
at the Bavarian Cafe in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. It was really delicious. I mean,
Okay.
it was tasty.
Yeah.
And then
How did
the
they cook
next-
it? Was it like grilled or how
it
did they
was
do
like
it?
pulled pork.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
so smoked. Okay.
So then the next night, I'm at a restaurant. It was Valentine's night. I remember. I'm with my wife, and the waiter comes up when we first sit down. He says, "Our special tonight is wild boar." I'm like, "Oh, how many times can you say this in your life?"
Right.
Oh, I just had that yesterday.
Right?
So-
That's true.
I just had boar yesterday.
Do you sit
It's
down?
bored of me now.
So I'm sure I know the answer to this, but do you sit down and ask the waitress what's the craziest thing that you have on the menu?
Not usually. I'll go through the menu myself.
That's kind of your
and-
MO, though, is that you kind of would ask, hey, so we're starting a conversation anyway. I already know what your name is and where you were born and all that kind of
What
good
kind of
stuff.
exotic animals
Yep.
do you have on the menu? Well, okay, I'd rather have it come organically. I was at Giacomo's Pizza in Irvington, another plug, ding.
Yeah,
Where's our
we
bell?
honestly should be getting
I'm gonna
paid
do
for
it.
all of
I'm
this.
gonna do
Or at least getting free food.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. I'd take some
And
free Giacomo's.
Giacomo's, one of the best pizza places on the east side of town.
Giacomo's, go
With
eat it.
Crawfish.
Oh, crawfish.
Oh yeah.
They have a Creole pizza. It had crawfish on it, which is different from shrimp.
Okay.
And so I got
Right,
credit for
right,
that. And
okay.
then I asked the server, I said, what are your soups tonight? And she said, we have venison chili.
Oh, there you go. Bam.
So you
There.
knocked out deer.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep. And at
good, too.
the Valentine's dinner where they offered me boar that I'd already had, and I had to turn that down, I did go with their, it was called the Palermo salad, octopus and conch.
Okay.
Ooh,
There's
little
two. Bam.
conch.
And their cioppino, the seafood soup,
Yep.
that I hadn't had scallop yet, and I hadn't had clams, which were in it.
Okay.
So I knocked out 4 new animals in one meal.
Have you knocked out mussels yet this year?
Yes.
Oh, you did. Okay. Because I was gonna say you should hit Bruges in Broaderpool
Oh,
for their
hit-
Prince
hit-
Edward Island.
hit Bruges anyways.
Okay.
That is
Yeah.
such a great place.
Ted Miller,
I love
I'm going to
Bruges.
give you a
Ted's
little
a
shout
great
there
guy.
because
Cruz Miller.
yes, and a huge soccer fan, a huge supporter of Indy 11,
Yeah.
huge, great,
He is.
amazing.
And
guy.
their Prince Edward Island mussels are fantastic.
Yes.
And girlfriend is huge, like crazy obsessed with Triple to Ripple.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the alcohol by volume of the triple
It's
ripple
like 14 or 13 or
they
something.
limit you to two
Yes.
into
At
a
Bruges,
24-hour period.
If you go to Pint Room in Carmel, you actually can have as many as you want when they have it on tap. They don't limit
That's such a bad
you.
idea.
It's a horrible
man.
idea.
Pint Room, you might have a lawsuit coming against you here soon, so I'm going to take that one away. Okay.
Anyway, going back to soccer, the north side chapter of the Brickyard Battalion says, I figured it out. Pat McAfee is our new striker on the Indy.
The boomstick has
The
been
boomstick.
signed.
Shooting the soccer ball at 131 miles an hour as he's
From
claiming that
midfield.
he's saying.
You almost said shooting the puck.
I almost said shooting puck. I was at an Indy Fuel game the other day, and I'm still in that hockey zone.
Love
Indy
the fuel.
Fuel is a great team.
Yes, Indy Fuel.
Done. All right.
Ching.
Ching. We should.
Man,
we should
we
have a
doing
register
it.
that every time we just hit tilt.
Perfect. Okay.
All right.
So moving on. So anyway, so that would be a great challenge. I would love to do something like that because it's funny how the
This guy's a big foodie too.
yeah,
so.
because the U.S. Food system in general, you kind of get limited to kind of your big three. It's beef, chicken, pork type deal, and people just have been grown accustomed to just this taste, this flavor, and you go, there's so many incredible tasting animals. I mean, there really are. Animals are here to eat.
What's something that you've had already that you thought the hype behind was kind of like, hey, this is going to be really good, and it turned out not so much. And now
Well,
I guess it could be
I'll say two
how it's
things.
prepared.
Yeah, I'll say two things. On that end, the bison I had at the library, and I had it two ways. I had it in meatballs,
Yep.
bison balls, which is not to be confused with Rocky Mountain oysters.
Right.
Yes.
Just to make it known.
And I also had the bison meatloaf.
Ooh,
And
that sounds like that'd be really good.
you know, they were both very good. The bison balls were somewhat, it's a meatball. It's good, it's tasty, whatever. The meatloaf, the bison meatloaf was outstanding. It was very flavorful, well prepared. Another, I had alligator. I was in Florida in January, and I was thinking, okay, it's going to taste like chicken. No, it was actually very tender. It's more tender than chicken.
It did have that gamey taste to it, though.
It depends how you prepare it.
When I had it, it had that little bit of a game to it.
Well, here's the deal. Alligator is exceptionally hard to cook. It will become tough very, very quickly if you don't cook it right, and becomes rubber. So that's huge. I learned that off of Master Chef Junior. If you've never seen that, little kids who cook, it's on Fox. So, no, Fox. No, it's great. Those little kids are amazing.
Who were the brothers on Swamp People? Mitch, Mitch,
Oh,
and his
my
brother.
gosh, yes.
One of them is no longer with us, but they cook
I didn't
squirrel on a regular basis.
Yeah. I mean, it's available.
Yeah,
and
you can
it's
cook it up real good.
They're lean until the fall time when they get all.
I'm pretty sure I'll end up with squirrel and raccoon this year. Possum might be a little harder to get.
There's got to be somewhere.
I'm pretty sure somewhere down in Irvington, there's possums literally in people's garages.
Yeah. Well, there's neighborhoods in Milwaukee I've passed where the grocery stores offer possum.
Oh, whole carcass possum, or actually already cut up?
I think it's butchered already, but you have to cook it up yourself.
Yeah.
So make a trip to Cincinnati, stop in one of the hills. There's probably some possum
There
somewhere
is a
in there.
place in Cincinnati, famous place. Your listeners probably know.
I miss you, Peter.
It's Jack, Wild Jack, Jack Wild,
something.
Farmer Jack.
Okay.
If someone can tweet us the name of,
Oh!
it's a wild game grocer. Basically.
Is that the giant grocery store that
Yes.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember who it is. Internet, help me out.
The Google machine?
Yes, but I stop there every time I go to IKEA or to a Reds game.
I'm not
in
much
Cincinnati.
of a cook, so I'm not looking to really go to butchers and buy the meat and cook it myself.
You want someone to prepare it for you.
Yeah.
Jungle Jim.
Jungle
Thank you.
Jim's.
Bingo.
Boom.
We have a winner.
That place is awesome.
Jungle Jim's.
Outside of Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio. Go there.
200,000 unique items.
It's incredible. You can spend like hours there.
So how about Indy 11's new back line?
Peter Wilt with the great segue.
Yeah. And you talk about different animals.
Yes.
And here's the different animal
From the
this year.
spring season
Very
to the
good.
fall season
Very
last
good.
year, it was a different animal, and it was very much because of Corey Miller's signing.
Yes.
Corey Miller,
We got to get him on the show.
he solidified the back line. He gave us some consistency back there, hard nose, nothing fancy or special.
He gave
but
it an edge, too.
playing alongside Eric, the other teams didn't like going into the box against him.
Yeah.
It also allowed us to get Jaime Frias out wide when Kyle was injured.
Yep.
Jaime did a great job at the end of the year. And now we're bringing all of them back, which makes us deeper now that Kyle's healthy and Marco Franco was signed along with Victor Pineda after being on loan. And that's it. Greg Janicki. I'll say Janicki, you say Janicki. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll call the whole thing off.
Tomato. Janicki.
Yes.
But Greg is obviously a veteran, outstanding player, a championship-winning defender from San Antonio, also MLS veteran with Vancouver and DC United. He's a good leader. He's a good guy, a hard-working guy, sets the right tone for the team. And we now have, as I said, competition at every position on the field, including in back, where you couldn't say that last year.
Do you feel that?
Well, you could, but you'd be lying.
Remember, we talked about that multiple times. Where I'm like, back post.
We talked about it. We talked about it in length with Christian about, hey, what do you feel about the guys in front of you?
And you know, and Christian is an amazing teamate, and he refused to bus drive anybody.
He refused to throw anybody under the bus publicly, at least.
Publicly, right?
Once the microphones went off. But that's the other thing too, is that kind of going into the competition aspect of competing for spots. Do you feel that competition for competing for spots is going to lead to a lot of different looks from Jurgen of trying to take the first 3 or 4 games of the season, have different lineups, different formations and things like that to figure out the best combination?
I think it's very much a byproduct of how things are going both in games and in training sessions. You know, if you get success with a set lineup, you stay with it. But also you're going to have turnover in terms of injuries, suspensions, even call-ups to national teams. And there's going to be occasions where you're going to want to rest players, and obviously you're going to sub players. So I think in the North American Soccer League, the rosters are not so deep that players are wanting for playing time for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's, the player we signed today was our 19th player.
Yeah.
And granted, we'll end up signing another 3 or 4, but it's not going to be the size of a roster where you're going to be worrying about getting reserve team games to make sure players are getting minutes.
Right. I mean, look at a guy like Don Smart last year who pretty much came off the bench and played probably more than a lot of players.
He was a super sub.
He was, man. It was like every time he came in, there it is. All right, super sub time.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Exactly.
You're exactly right. That makes sense.
And we finished the season last year almost without giving up a goal for the last 3 or 4 games. Christian set the NASL record with 307 consecutive shutout minutes, I believe.
Yeah.
So we finished strong last year and back. And, bringing Sergio Pena back, too, is an important part of that defensive unit. Having the same goalkeeper and Christian as we had last year, that consistency is sometimes overlooked. And it's one of the reasons a team like Minnesota has done well year after year, because they have a core of the team that comes back and they're comfortable playing with each other.
Right.
They know where their teammates are going to be positionally. They know what to expect. The culture is stable, and that's something that we probably didn't really have in the spring season last year.
So you brought them up. So obviously there's been reports this week. There's been the talk with Minnesota moving on. So, I mean, did that come as
because I say the word Minnesota,
Yeah.
all of a sudden we're going to be talking about
them specifically, not us. Them. I'm talking about did that
them?
come? Yeah, Minnesota.
Van Morrison was the lead singer of them. I
Them.
believe.
Van Morrison.
Ooh.
Wow.
What a wayback machine.
They're
I
in the
am old.
way back.
I am old. And he waves.
Did
Mr. Peabody and Sherman with the
Yes.
Wayback
Uh-huh.
Machine?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm okay with that reference.
Point being, did this come as any surprise or anything
Can
to
I change
hear?
the subject yet?
Oh, of course you can.
Oh, yeah, of course you can. I just
It's been on the table, obviously, discussion about expansion of Major League Soccer to the Twin Cities for well over a year.
Okay.
And the idea of the Vikings ownership being very interested has been...
Is it also the Twins as well? I thought it was a joint. It's like a
No,
dual.
it's two different situations.
Okay.
You have the Vikings ownership as a standalone seeking an
Okay.
expansion team. And then you have Minnesota United, the North American Soccer League team, that has reportedly been partnering with the Minnesota Twins ownership and the Polad family, and the Minnesota Timberwolves ownership in Glenn Taylor, along with a Medtronic executive. To
Sounds
have
like a mess.
a counter offer or counter proposal to Major League Soccer.
I mean, how do you feel? I mean, you have a team like that obviously has been that successful in ASL. What does that do when you take a team like that and you move them up? I mean, what do you think that does to the product for NASL when you take your best teams consistently and go, well, all right, we're moving them up, which is natural. That would happen.
Which is
That- I
essentially
mean, that is a very-
promotion and relegation.
Yeah, I mean, that is very much an unusual situation. I think if you asked the leadership of Minnesota United, they would honestly tell you that they love the North American Soccer League business model.
Right.
They like everything about it. They like the direction it's going, and all else being equal, they'd like to stay in it. That being said, they need to assess the market situation going forward and make their own analysis. I thought northernpitch.com, the new soccer Uber blog, if I can call it. I mean, it's an amazing site. Is it northernpitch.com? I highly recommend that you check it out.
I think we have them linked on our new website.
They have had a great article today really assessing that situation that will do a better job than I can in a few minutes on the air. But I think Minnesota United's been put in a tough situation right now.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But I think it's a real compliment to the North American Soccer League that this is a league that is developing franchises that are coveted by other leagues. You know, that's what we've said about Indy 11 from the beginning.
Right.
Everyone seems to think that our one and sole goal is to go to Major League Soccer.
Yes.
We want to be the best team we can be. We want to be a team that any league in the world would like to have part of it. And that's what this new stadium effort is about. we need to elevate our standards to first division levels. That doesn't mean we have to play in Major League Soccer. It means we need to have more seats, more amenities for our stadium, more fans, and better play on the field. We need to be more professional, and that's hopefully that means we can stay in North American Soccer League. But if the opportunity to go to Major League Soccer comes, that's a business opportunity that would need to be assessed at that time.
And it's funny you say that, because I think it was the Wall Street Journal article that came out about 3 weeks ago, was talking exactly about that it's not just about MLS in the U.S., that there's this misconception that everything is all about getting to MLS. And they said there's such an incredible desire and a hunger for both the USL, the NASL, that you have these incredible clubs and these organizations running through, that there's in between, that there's this whole division people just don't seem to realize, and fan base and fury for it, that this isn't your football, basketball converse, that this is just a whole new generation, a whole new group of people that literally love this game, and there's plenty to go around everywhere. And it's funny to hear exactly that statement that NASL, right, it's not a second rate. You have some great teams.
And I think it's only going to get better. I mean, you look at the new team in Jacksonville, Florida. They are doing fantastic things there with the Armada, and Steve Livingston and Mark Frisch are really creating a professional organization. San Antonio Scorpions have done that for a while. The New York Cosmos, my goodness, going out and you Marco Senna, and everyone's like, "Holy cow!" And then they go and get Raul. So
you're right.
It's a fun time to be involved in professional soccer in this country, and it's great to see the growth of it.
Well, and one of the guys writing for Indy 11 now, Jeff Crandall. Did I say his name right? Jeff Crandall?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not that complicated a name. I'm trying to think
about
what the alternative pronunciation is.
But anyway, Jeff Crandall was talking about on Twitter today the exact same thing of
Hefe
Crandall. I hate both of you guys. But anyway.
He said that. I saw Peter's face. I was like, dude, it's fucking Crandall. Like, what is it?
Anyway.
Hefe Crandall he was telling us about the things that we need to know.
He was talking about today about the growth of MLS being too fast. That not too long ago, we were just trying to move down to, the MLS was trying to move down to 12 teams. And now they're talking about going over 24 teams.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, well, the growth of American soccer is great. We got to keep going. And it's almost that too much, too soon. No, not too soon, but too much all at the same time could, in my opinion, dilute the
competition.
Yes.
So it could become a La Liga.
Yeah. Well, I mean, LA Galaxy's won 5 now, 5 or 6 MLS championships. So
I don't think that's an issue. I mean, I had this conversation with Bob Bradley back in, about 10 years ago, when expansion, we're looking at going to 14 teams.
Yeah.
And he made the salient point that the limited supply of players for Major League Soccer is really in the U.S. national team level players.
Yeah.
But there's almost an unlimited supply of perhaps the next level down of American players, that if you put those types of players into a professional environment, and they're training on a regular basis with better coaches, better players, better facilities, that you'll expand the pool of solid, hardworking American soccer players. The international players is a function of how many slots are available and how much money will be allotted to them.
Let's be honest, there's a bureaucracy to the national team.
And so that part is unlimited because that level of international players, if you go from 12 teams to 24 teams, you still have 8 international slots.
Right.
You can fill those slots.
Yep.
And if you have the designated player and you go 1, 2, now 3 of them, you just allow unlimited money. You can control the quality of play at that level. But the U.S. national team player, that level, it's rare. I mean, there's only so many Landon Donovans around.
That's very true. Clint Dempsey's and such it.
A really quick subject change, because Peter was talking about a subject change earlier. Question on Twitter. At Mrs. Ruby asked, my husband won't let me use the computer because he's listening to our podcast,
Okay.
and she's looking for a recipe to feed for dinner. So she wants dinner recommendations from you guys.
Dinner recommendation from Peter Wilt. This
Yes.
is different. This is a whole different show now. All of a sudden,
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cooking
Take
with
a-
Peter Wilt.
take a whole bunch of shit you have in the fridge and throw it. No,
Pretty much,
throw it
that's
in a
what I
pot.
did the other day. Rice, chicken, some
do you think?
peppers.
Are we sure her husband isn't referring to pornography as our podcast?
He actually
It kind of
responded.
is.
He
It's
actually,
audio
the
pornography.
funny thing is, we're actually seeing a domestic dispute on Twitter right now because he responded and said, "Rude, I'm just trying to enjoy a great radio show with my wonderful wife."
Well,
And she responded with, "Your wife needs Pinterest to feed you and your offspring." Pinterest,
Thank you.
book it.
I would just recommend a grilled cheese sandwich
Yes, there you go.
and tomato soup on the side.
Just go to Moe's.
Can you
Hey,
have
these,
bacon in that?
these are the people from Noblesville. Just go to Moe's and get yourself a grilled cheese sandwich and a tomato bisque.
Modes, exactly. It comes with avocado and bacon.
Okay, I do have one recipe. Can I recommend this?
Yes,
Okay,
of course.
a recipe offer for her.
Okay.
You make a grilled cheese sandwich.
Uh-huh.
You make tomato soup.
Okay.
You cut the grilled cheese sandwich into squares, tiny squares.
How many?
Grilled cheese, 16 of them. So
Grilled cheese croutons.
grilled cheese croutons that you put in
I
the
knew where he
tomato
was going with
soup.
that. That sounds delicious.
That's
Doing
not
You're
really
welcome.
that's not really a plug. That's more a plug for him. He's like, that's a plug for me. Amazing.
You need to put that on Pinterest. Have people
Pinterest.
pin it.
Oh my.
What's her name? Ruth? You're welcome.
Mrs. Ruby.
Ruby.
This is
Katie.
Ruby.
Groovy
Katie.
Ruby.
Katie.
Hey, you will be
Katie.
Groovy Ruby.
Ruby. So you need to change your Twitter name to Groovy Ruby
Yeah,
right
Groovy
now.
Ruby.
The grilled cheese crouton woman.
A soccer question, though, team question. When do Brown and Melgaris arrive?
Brian Brown arrived 2 hours and 9 minutes ago.
Okay. This was hashtag Ask the Architect.
He
Okay.
is Brian Brown is Rambo, as he's affectionately known
Ooh, all
in
right.
Jamaica.
All right.
Rambo
I'm okay
arrived
with
a
that.
couple hours ago. We're very excited to have
kinda
him in
scary.
town.
I want to see a tifo.
He's
A
going to
Brian Brown tifo that makes him look like Rambo with the headband.
headband.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
That might alienate some of our Cambodian listeners. I mean, it's not a strong contingency here, but I'm just saying, let's not escape.
It's interesting because as this offseason has gone on, we improved our back line. Settle down, guys. I'm trying to be serious. I'm talking about soccer.
Sorry,
okay?
God.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry we
Really?
didn't spend the first half hour talking about your fucking
All you
food
guys
quest.
want to do is talk about non-soccer.
I know. All right, you're right. All right, hang on. Hold on. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. All right.
Here we go.
Game face. Game face.
So we started the offseason by improving the back line with Greg Janicki, Marco Franco.
Yes.
And then the midfield was next. We improved that with Osman
Right.
Melgaris. To the question, we're just waiting for his passport to show up. It's been very frustrating. I've been talking to our operations manager tonight about that.
Where's fucking Colluder at? I'm telling you.
We just don't know. You can't push
Yeah.
the
Foreign
immigration
politics.
any more than they are. And so he's just waiting for the passport to show up. And when it does, he'll be here. I predicted it Wednesday, for the record, is my day in the office pool. Everyone else is doing NCAA basketball pools.
Yep.
We're doing Osman Melgaris passport showing up pools. And I've got Wednesday, so pick
Dude.
another day.
I got Wednesday.
But no, it's to the day, not necessarily to the hour.
I'm gonna say
of what time
I'm
you're
gonna put my Friday in. I'll put my Friday in.
Andy's got Friday.
I got Friday.
Did
So-
we get a question about somebody if they're going to be playing on Saturday?
Oh, geez. I don't know.
You have
We're
that?
blowing up on Twitter right now. But you can go ahead with the next.
So, we spent much of the middle part of the offseason working on the midfield. Obviously, Victor Pineda getting signed from the Chicago Fire, as well as Osman Melgaris getting Sergio Pena back was big. Don Smart actually signed a new contract. So he signed an extension, which keeps him in Indy for a longer period of time, which is
Very exciting.
very exciting.
I mean, he's the best cook on the team apparently anyway. So
Yeah,
what
I'm
hearing.
sure. I'm sure.
So you
all
can't
the
let him go
teammates-
just for that alone.
He's always got a
Since we're
spot.
talking about food all right.
Caribbean
And-
joke alone.
And, having Cleberson now healthy is almost like having a new player. Same with Brad
Sure.
Ring.
Yeah.
Having him healthy is like having an excellent new player. And what we were missing, and everyone kept talking about it, was up front.
Okay.
And that's where we knew.
Peter, you need any Schlaps. Don't do a Pepsi then Schlitz. He
Or
will
just-
know the
or
difference.
just bring the bottle and can.
Yes, just do that. Oh my God, I don't want to hear the wreck of the Paps and Schlitz. Oh my
It would
God,
be a Pitts.
Pitts.
Yeah, it can't
Nobody
be a
wants
Pitts.
that.
Nobody wants
that.
So up front, we
Throw your hands in the air.
we didn't pick up the option on Mike Ambersley. Julian, the option we did not pick up because of the amount of the increase if we would have. Charlie Rugg was on loan. He went back to Los Angeles. Ben Spencer was on loan. He went back to Molde in Norway. And there we were sitting with no forwards. And our fans were panicking about the forwards. But internally, we knew we were in good shape when it came to forwards because we knew what offers we had out. We knew what players that we were going to be able to get.
We were talking forwards before you came.
Forward. So I want to hear you pronounce his name. What's the other forward's name?
Woj.
Well,
No. I want the full name. What's the full name? I know. Because we were
I'm
going
just
through
going to
this.
let you know. I'm going to help you out
Listen.
because it's actually spelled phonetically on the Indy 11 website.
I want to thank them. So it's one of your incredible
Because first
staff
off, we looked at it and I was like, well, it's literally Wojcik.
Right.
It's the same name
but
twice.
Wojcik.
It
know
is
what?
different.
Right.
There's a.
It's the forward who's so nice you got to say it twice.
Now there's the tifo. All right, listen, Peter Evans. Oh, you guys, if you're watching this and listening, I want that right there. The forward's so nice, you got to say it twice.
Wojciech Vucic.
Wojciech Vucic.
Peter, just so you know, in any kind of subsequent.
He's like, nope, I'm never going to say that.
Woj. Isn't it Woj?
Voj.
Isn't it like a double like
Vuj.
Vag?
Sure. Oh, for the television
Oh
cameras.
yes, here is the
Schlitz goes
the
first.
Schlitz. Yes, Schlitz goes first, about halfway up the pint glass.
Milwaukee's black and tan.
Yep.
I'm representing our wonderful partner and affiliate, Flat 12
I love
Beer
Flat
Works.
12.
Why aren't you drinking a
Hinchtown?
full 90?
Oh, yeah,
Because
the
full
mayor.
90 is not out yet.
The new can looks incredible.
The can does look incredible.
Have you seen the can design yet?
I have not.
It looks really good.
I'm
I've heard
gonna
good
show you
things.
real quick.
I'd
Because
like
I
to
have
see
it.
it.
Yes.
Can you show it to the camera because this
I
makes
can.
really
No,
interesting
I don't think
radio.
I honestly don't think
think
we
they
can show it to the camera. To be honest,
Oh no, we cannot.
we
Can you
can't show it
describe
to the
it
camera.
to the
No, I
radio?
cannot show this to you.
You can show it to him. There you
So
go.
there's
That's what the can looks like,
So this
Whoa,
front and then
that
back.
is outstanding.
right?
Yep.
You
So
got
I
the
love it.
BYD
Design.
logo
Hey,
on it.
Listeners, you're going to have to buy this to see it.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
amazing.
I like. Yeah,
This
it'll be
really
good.
is.
I
I
don't
like
know.
the colors. I like the look.
Yeah,
The
it'll be
shield.
good. Yes, I
Full
think it'll be
90.
good. And then all listed on the back, all your stuff. So this just reminds me of
What's the
Vegas.
number one ingredient?
I believe it's just
Aspartame?
beer. Yeah,
It's the same. Yeah,
high fructose corn syrup
and rabbit blood.
and Tylenol.
Tylenol.
Baby Tylenol.
Mrs. Ruby actually just tweeted us her her actual dinner plans for the week.
She
And,
did.
and the end of the week is actually grilled cheese with tomato soup.
That's
And said,
amazing.
Thanks, PR podcast show.
That's awesome. Thank you, Peter.
Way to go,
Wilt, for coming.
Katie.
Yes,
Is it Katie?
Yes, it is Katie.
All right.
It's Groovy Ruby.
that is
Invite me
hilarious.
over.
Good job, Groovy Ruby.
What night is it? Friday?
All right, yeah, it looks like Friday. So anyway,
I'm
We're still
in a-
talking
I'm-
forwards?
Yeah, well,
we're still talking
kind of
about
forced-
Vocek.
well, and I'm still in an argument over how terrible Ozil is. But
Oh,
anyways,
yes.
okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
there's somebody that was
He's a diehard
a
Arsenal
mutual
guy.
friend of ours was talking about how
He looks like Peter Lorre.
who Ozil?
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh,
he
he
looks
does
like
look like
Enzo
Peter-
Ferrari. Actually, he is a doppelganger. Have you never seen that photo? They put them both. They literally are like
I'm
reincarnated.
honestly amazed that he scores goals because he probably sees two.
Oh my god! But anyways, the point was they were talking about how bad he's been, and he posted a photo. Ozil posted
We're
a
going to
photo
hear about that.
of the World Cup. Haters
And we're
went,
gonna hear about this
because
tomorrow."
you did so much in the World Cup. You and Kadira combined were amazing. Well, this guy, he's just, oh yeah, you think so? He's just so bad that he couldn't make a Madrid squad. Am I right? And I went, yeah, that was like 5 years ago. Whatever. Anyways, Ryan, I love you. I'm just gonna say that. Yes.
Right,
So
right.
let's go RVing. Everybody tweet him about how terrible
Tweet
he is.
at Let's Go RV and how awful Mesut Ozil is right now. Just hashtag Ozil sucks.
Oh, no. Okay, just kidding.
Just
Hashtag
kidding.
Arsenal loses
Because
tomorrow.
all I'm going to do is just hear about all this Manchester United not being in the Champions League, Europa League, all that kind of stuff. But
All right,
anyway,
so back to forwards. Oh no.
no, we're done. I think we're done with forwards.
All right, Peter, can we get to?
so? But we
Oh
can
no,
keep talking.
no, okay, no.
So
you're-
we had no
This is the
forwards.
Peter Wilt show anyway.
This
So
is- that's why we invited him on.
I'm
do your
just
thing, buddy.
trying to
You
inform
are.
your listeners.
We love
so
you, Peter.
We no forwards.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, we heard about it on Twitter from most
Once or
of the
twice?
BYB. Yeah, where's our fucking forwards?
We're gonna park the bus every game. It's 0-0.
11 in the box. 11 in the box.
what I like about the direction we're going with our forwards is we're going to have 4 different forwards that have different styles. They all bring different things to the table. Woj obviously is good in the air, strong, physical, a young player, and what we've seen early in the season, in the preseason, I think has been real positive from him. And then Brian Brown, Rambo, is a different type of forward. He's a player that will more take you on one-on-one. He's actually versatile enough that he could play several midfield positions if need be.
So he's more like First Blood Part 2, Rambo, not necessarily for. Okay, got it.
Part 2, yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, he was very productive last year. More than 20 goals. He had 18 goals in the regular season to lead the Jamaican Premier League, 2 goals in cup play in Jamaica, and then when Philadelphia took him on loan, he scored 2 more goals in a limited amount of play. So he knows how to put the ball in the goal. He's very hard to keep an eye on in the box, and he puts himself in good positions to score. So he's a different type of forward. And then we have 2 other slots that one will reveal tonight on this show.
Oh, so he's a forward.
He is a forward.
There's our
another
first
hint.
clue. There's our first clue. The new signee is a forward.
Yes. Well, yeah. And then the other forward slot we haven't filled yet. We have 2 solid candidates, and including one of the best names of all preseason. His name was so good that John Kaluter didn't even want to use a pseudonym for him, as he often
was that
does.
Duke?
Duke LaCroix.
Look, Duke LaCroix, who scored.
He's not a hockey player. Duke LaCroix with the 4 points tonight.
Drops the gloves.
Drops the gloves. Duke LaCroix is taking him out.
This is the Rambo that I know of. Brett Rambo.
Brett Rambo.
You ever seen the Brett Rambo gif? Brett Rambo gif is the blonde kid that just looking at a computer, and all of a sudden he turns to the camera and just puts his thumb up. It's Brett Rambo.
Rambo. Okay, that's totally the same. The leader in the Jamaican league is
Not
totally
Brian
this kid. Right. Yeah, totally the same. And totally First Blood. Right.
Yes.
Rambo.
Totally.
Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, that was the funny thing about that.
You spent the last 5 minutes fucking finding that.
Listen, there's some not safe for work gifts that I was coming across that I was trying to kind of weed out. But anyway, the Duke LaCroix.
He's not French.
LaCroix? No, he's Duke LaCroix. He's Duque LaCroix.
LaCroix.
Duke LaCroix. That was the funny thing, though, is that Kaluter usually runs the Indy 11 Live Twitter account, and all of a sudden you see him. Yeah, you see him go and tweet the name of a trailer, and then immediately delete it. But even though everybody saw it already, and he's like, well, "Okay, no, we're not being cheeky anymore. It was Duke LaCroix," and I'm like, "Well, good working with you, John Kaluter."
Oh man. It's gonna be. You gotta love leaks.
You do, yeah. It was Twitter leaks.
Yep.
Speaking of leaks, are we ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, for what?
Anything.
Revealing the forward?
Not yet.
Revealing the signed forward, or we're waiting till 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay, we can still wait.
Yeah, we can
We have
wait.
6 more minutes.
Okay. Well,
5 more minutes.
we better get.
Who said anything about going just till 9, Peter? You're the one who was like talking about wanting to go long.
Well,
because we got
Are
stadium.
there more questions?
We
Let's
got
ask questions.
We got stadium talk to talk about.
well, kind of.
Indeed.
Yes, we
Yes, we do, and we don't want to beat the dead horse of all the work you've done in just the amazing firestorm of just ignorance that has perpetuated. See, this is okay. I'm gonna preface this by these opinions are only a permanent relegation. These are not necessarily those of Peter Wilt or the Indy 11 organization. All those given now should be taken with a grain of salt until Peter Wilt talks.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. All right.
With that being said, so the ignorance that has been bled upon our local media, we were actually kind of going through. There's been a weird change. What do you got?
Yeah, they say don't eat my bunny.
Yes.
Yes.
I just saw that, Katie. That's awesome.
Katie's kid clutching a bunny saying don't make Peter.
Well,
Will
I
eat my
wouldn't
bunny."
eat that bunny. It hasn't been cooked yet.
Oh, all right.
Not into rare bunny meat.
Might be a little dry though.
And fur. Yes. So,
Stadium question.
you had a great letter put out to the public, and after some negative coverage from there, I think it's amazing. They put that out, and it was a great letter, and I've read it over multiple times. What really prompted you to say, I mean, you obviously have a stance on this, but what prompted you to say, I'm going to write this out, I'm going to send this? I need.
Well, it's just all the misinformation that's out there, and some of it is understandable because whenever you hear about a new stadium being built and ask for public assistance, the natural thing is to think that the taxes are going to go up and the taxes are paying for it.
What about the children? What about the children?
Someone
the
think
roads?
of the children.
I got a pothole today.
Diverted funds, absolutely. And that's the natural instinctive thing to think about. And that's why it was so important that we got the messaging out that that's not the case with this proposal. In fact, one of the reasons I'm so proud to be associated with it is it's a creative approach to this that not only has the stadium itself being funded by the users of the stadium, but the backup
from the owner
is from the owner's own project. So the consultants, KSM Consulting, looked at the project. They looked at the usage of it. These are economic experts that went to industry experts to get the numbers, and they looked at it and they said the revenue that will be generated from the stadium is enough to cover the debt service. They said the coverage is not enough perhaps to make all of the lending institutions comfortable, so it would be helpful if you found some additional coverage. And that's when Ursal suggested using some of the innkeeper's tax from the new hotel he was considering developing downtown. And by the way, this is some space right off of downtown, off the Circle. It had sat
7 years,
vacant,
right?
more than that. It was vacant for 13 years.
Yeah, okay.
And Ursal came in when no one else would or could, and was able to acquire it. And he had the option, and still does have the option, of converting it into apartments or some other usage that frankly wouldn't generate the tax revenue that a hotel would. And by doing it this way, he's able to make sure that there's a backstop on the stadium funding that will never affect the general taxpayer.
Because the parking garage and Hopcat Broadwell are doing great. Am I right? Okay, there you go.
No, and the thing is I think obviously with Ursal's business acumen, he knows what he's doing. I mean, he hasn't been successful for nothing. And the amount of events and things coming to Indianapolis in just over the past couple of years have really been something that can definitely support another downtown hotel to generate that type of revenue that they're talking about in order to kind of front the bill. And a lot of the people that were complaining and bitching about this whole, oh God, well, if it doesn't make enough money, then the taxpayers are going to be stuck with it. I actually saw a lot of people that were outside of the outside areas of Indianapolis complaining about it, even though they weren't the ones that were going to actually have to foot the bill in the first place.
If it were going to happen.
This whole bill that's in this state house now that's being debated isn't even asking for any sort of backstop. I mean, it's really what the bill is asking for is enabling legislation that will allow the taxes created by the stadium to be retained to pay for its debt service. And it's pretty simple, and there's no moral obligation for any of the taxes to fall on the general taxpayers. And that's why I wrote that letter. I mean, laying it out in black and white, the people that read it got it and they understood it. The people that chose not to and just live in a fantasy world continue to complain, and those are the people, frankly, that write comments.
Well, those people are quick, and it's so funny how those who refuse to look at facts and have opinions so strong that they just supersede and overrule facts that will go quickly and smear it around and go, well, let's talk about what happened in Chicago. Let's talk about Toyota. Or can you go, well, that's is irrelevant. It's such a completely different situation, and you lay that out in that letter. And it had very little to do with you anyways, but it's like, how can we find a tie? And on top of that, well, this is a princess deal because Ursal's going to make some extra money, and he's going to, like, this fight and this hatred for this, and it kind of stems back, I think, misguided as it is, I want to look at it that it's less that it's a malicious intent and more of, as writers, we love our city. We want to be able to maybe protect our people, and let's try to give this out. But when you decide to put things out without facts and without looking into them, and you say things like, it's going to be taxed and it's going to be just like Lucas Oil, not even remotely close.
No, and I want to talk about the positive aspects. The House of the State House voted overwhelmingly to support this, both on the committee level and the full House. On the full House, it was 74-21. On the committee level, it was something like
Uncle Jesse vote?
21-3 on the committee level, and one of the House members. Sorry, I don't know how Uncle Jesse voted.
It's a Full House reference.
Uncle Jesse and Tanner. Oh my God, Andy! Uncle Jesse. This dude is literally giving you numbers, dropping knowledge.
Sorry, Peter. I'm sorry, Peter.
What did I tell you about that 9.8%?
Is this a Bob Saget question?
No,
Yes, it is. How did Bob Saget vote on? He said, "Fucking don't do it.
Yes.
It's bad.
He
Don't
probably
do
did
it.
drop
It's
the F
bad."
Bob
as well.
Saget went blue.
Yes. Bob Saget was always blue. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
But there were voters in the committee who were on record as opposing the stadium last year.
Yep.
They opposed the Lucas Oil Stadium. They opposed Bankers Life. But then when it came to this version, they supported it. And it was because it's not a risky legislation at all. So fortunately, those opinions that matter, the legislators, seem to be studying it, seem to support it, and we need to just continue to educate. And that's what we're going to do. And by the way, this Thursday at the State House, we have a big rally coming up.
We're going to touch on
We
that too.
encourage everyone.
Do it. Tell
if
us.
you're
Preach.
get to the State House. 10 in the morning it starts. Get there a little early. There's security to go
I'm
through
going to try to be there.
because all those rabble-rousers come through.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Get there by 9:30 if you can. At 10 o'clock, all sorts of exciting speeches are going to be made. The mayor is going to be there.
Are one of them going to be by
Who is-
Peter Wilt?
I think they're saving me for the last one.
Okay.
So if you haven't fallen asleep after the seventh one,
The mayor's a big supporter too. That's
the mayor's been
he's on board.
fantastic, and the mayor gets it. And what's nice is he's not running for office. He's given his real opinion. He's looked at this. He believes this is good for the community, and that feels good. I mean, and all sorts of people that get it, that have studied it, will be speaking at this event, and we're going to need the fans to be there too and show their support. So 10 o'clock on Thursday morning, March 19th at the South Atrium. Food will be served.
All right.
And T-shirts will be given.
All right.
Listen, if you have questions about that, make sure you go to Indy11.com. You want to hit the Brickyard Battalion as well. It's just brickyardbattalion.com. You can do BYB, or hit them on Twitter at @the_BYB. They have a huge link on there.
Right.
If you need directions, if you need details more than just listening to us over and
there's
over.
information on where to park. There
Everything.
will be a BYB rep speaking. I haven't heard who it is yet. I don't know. Have you?
I haven't.
You are the voice of the BYB. I would think you would hear it
haven't,
right away.
If anybody from the BYB would like to disseminate that knowledge, because I mean we are in the board on there, but I don't know if this has been shuffled around. Who's
I can
going to
look
end
it
up
up real
speaking?
quick.
Yeah, we can find out for you real quick.
And
Quick tweet to us.
And while I'm looking it up, I kind of want to just kind of touch a little bit about, we kind of obviously skirted around the whole local media thing, and obviously one of the biggest media outlets is a newspaper that shall remain nameless, I guess.
Indy Star.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway,
I'll say it. Remember,
but
anything I say is not to be.
I've actually had players and some people ask me what's going on, like why the 180 and why the turn in terms, the negative/positive, negative/positive type of reporting that the Indy Star has done. I mean, do you have any opinion on that?
We had an opportunity to talk about the stadium with their editorial board, and
you kind of got to be careful with the whole thing.
Yeah, it was an opportunity to talk about it. I appreciate the fact that they were able to listen to us and ask some good questions. One of the, I'll call it ironic things, is we walked into the room and there's a whiteboard behind where we were sitting, and there's a message from a previous meeting. and I hope I'm not telling stories out of school, but it was just kind of humorous in context with talking about the effect of a new soccer stadium on a community. The message on the whiteboard was, how do we attract young readers? How do we attract readers 18 to 34?
Which is basically your demographic.
Yeah, and I think it's important to think in terms of the future of sports in Indianapolis, the future of Indianapolis as a community, the future of the culture here, and the importance that the whole use of sports as industry in Indianapolis has had. It's been obviously a remarkable success in a strategy for this community, going back to the 1980s with the U.S. Olympic Festival,
Right.
The Pan American Games, and leading up to the Super Bowl, and then the NCAA Final Four, as well as the number of amateur
Big Ten
organizations
championships
at
we have for
NCAA.
basketball and for that, right?
It's a great strategy,
Right.
and the future of that strategy has to become broader. It has to include globalization, and frankly, it has to include soccer.
Yes. So to your question, it's going to be Josh Mason, who is speaking for the BYB.
Fantastic.
which is
Josh
great,
is
yes.
a very good spokesman for the Brickyard Battalion and for the sport of soccer. And I really encourage everyone to come on down to hear for themselves the case for the stadium. It's an opportunity also if you want to meet your legislator and have a word and let them know you support it. You can also go on the Stadium for Indiana website and get the contact information for your senator and let them know how you feel about the stadium and its importance to you and the future of the state.
I mean, I've been hoping for Sunday liquor law reform for ever, but I'll put that on the back burner and really press for Indy 11 at this point.
And from a personal note, I mean, obviously the thing that got passed today, the religious discrimination. Sorry.
Yeah. So
Peter, I'm right there with you.
he's
I'm
going
right
to step
there with-
away.
Oh,
Don't do
Jesus,
it. Don't do it.
Don't eat it.
Okay.
Did you just say, Jesus, don't do it?
Right.
Yeah. How about that for a segue? Anyway, that's the only thing that it was mind-boggling to me.
And again, you don't need to say a thing. Back away. That's fine.
Yeah,
Agreed.
on my end, it's mind-boggling to
That
me
can be voted on.
that
be done.
yes, that we can vote on the fact that you can discriminate based off religious views.
Press your representatives, press your senators. Bombard them. If this is something,
Because they need to know what the people. I mean, obviously, the whole political idealism. I want to feel like I can make a difference, but sometimes I don't feel like I can make a difference at all.
but we can in this.
Yes, and I think
And being there on
with that
Thursday,
rally
be
on
there.
Thursday,
Right.
10 a.m. Address again, Peter.
It's that big building with a dome, two blocks
Is it
west.
called the Estate? The
It's
Estate?
the
Hussein.
State
Hussein,
Hussein.
right.
State Hussein.
Right.
Yes,
All right.
it's the state capitol building on Market Street where the Governor Oliver Morton statue.
Oh,
is.
okay. There we go.
So literally, if you go to the monument and you look west,
Yeah.
you pretty much your eyesight runs into it. Full zero.
Basically.
Done.
That's
Okay.
the place.
There you go. All right. So
And I think we might have a little gathering at Lock Miller's Pub, cha-ching,
okay.
afterwards.
Damn. You know what? We didn't give anything to the sinking ship. What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing for St. Patrick's Day?
Yes.
The Golden Ace Inn, of
There
course.
you go.
Cha-ching.
Done. All right. What time are you getting started?
Ursal's not listening, right?
No,
No.
probably not.
We know he's not listening.
Well,
Come
I
on.
do. Okay. So Guijo, our
I have
community
to work.
relations director,
Right.
sends me
Great guy.
an appearance.
Show.
Guijo,
Guijo,
friend of the show.
He sends
Friend
me
of
an
us.
appearance request.
Yeah.
I don't get that many appearance requests. Normally, they go
Sure
to
you
players and
don't.
coaches. So
Sure you don't.
occasionally, I get one. So he sends me an email that says, "We have an official appearance at the Golden Ace Inn on St. Patrick's Day.
Wow.
You're
Do you
needed
wanna
there
go?
between 4:00 and 5:30. Can you be there?"
In
And
what
I
state
said-
mentally?
Yeah. I said, "I will show up early."
Yeah. Exactly.
So I may get there at a little bit earlier than 4.
So let's give away some tickets
Yeah.
real quick.
All right.
And I want to. We're going to do it typical podcast style. I want Peter to come up with a question.
Be anything.
Can be anything. Anything.
Oh, so I
And-
shouldn't go for our new signing at this point?
We're going to do the new signing as people are answering this question. But I want a question from Peter Wilt that people can answer to win 2 free tickets to the home opener
against the New York Cosmos to see Raul.
Okay.
And
What?
Indy 11. Whoop them.
What university in the state of Indiana
Uh-huh.
did Martin Luther King give his final campus speech at in 1968, February 1st, 1968? Oh, they're just going to Google it now.
Yeah,
Don't do it. No
All right.
Googling, okay?
No, we
Yes,
can't do
honestly,
it. No,
this is like
Bing.
trivia. This is like trivia from Indy Live Trivia.
Exactly. So what university in Indiana did Martin Luther King give his last campus speech at before he was killed?
use hashtag BYBcast. And
You can say it out loud, Chris. You're not going to be right. It's a hard question.
you're not going to be right.
If it's not searched, it's going to be a difficult question.
Okay.
Oh.
So one more time with the question.
What university in the state of Indiana
Okay.
did Martin Luther King give his last campus speech? He gave other speeches after this, but
Right.
his last one on a university grounds was at this college in Indiana. And it was on, I believe, February 1st, 1968. And of course, he was assassinated March, April, May, June, about 4 months later. And of course, Robert F. Kennedy was in town in Indianapolis for a presidential campaign stop when he was forced to tell the throng waiting for him what had happened. It was in the pre-internet age, so the hundreds and hundreds of RFK supporters in the African American community near 16th and College
Mm-hmm.
had not heard about the tragic news until RFK told them about it, and went on to give the most amazing speech I've ever heard. It was extemporaneous for more than 5 minutes, and it's reproduced in a bronze plaque in King Kennedy Park with a beautiful sculpture of MLK and RFK reaching their hands out to each other on the site of that speech.
All right, we have an answer. Chris, have you found have you Googled it yet and found the answer? And I should know this because it's in my county, my home county.
Let me guess. It was. I don't know.
I don't know is not the right answer.
It's in Wabash County.
Which is not where Wabash College is.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, because Wabash College is in Crawfordsville.
Right.
It is Manchester College,
That is
now known
correct.
as Manchester University.
That is correct. And do we have a winner?
Yes, we do. Actually, Lewis.
I think that'd be Luis
Luis.
Right.
Okay, Luis
from Noblesville.
from Noblesville. The husband.
I love Noblesville.
The
by
husband
way.
of Katie.
Have I mentioned that I love Noblesville?
So
Can I ask another trivia question?
Of course.
Sure.
We don't have it. Okay, two more tickets.
Oh, all right.
Two
You're
more
gonna do
tickets.
this? Okay.
Kaluder's gonna be pissed. Kaluder's like,
No, these
got
are
them all.
my personal tickets. I get
Oh, all
two
right.
comp tickets every game. I have my own
These
season
aren't your
tickets.
seats, are they?
No, it's not my season tickets.
Are you
going to
be in the same seats as last year too?
Yeah.
the little-
I renewed.
Okay.
Did you renew?
I did renew.
Did you renew?
Done.
Did you renew?
Did you renew?
I renewed.
I renewed.
So, for 2 additional tickets, Luis, you are not eligible. This
Yes.
is a Noblesville question. The Hamilton County Jail used to be on the square in Noblesville in a Victorian building that now houses the History Museum or Historic Society of Hamilton County. When it was a jail in the 1960s, for one night, it housed perhaps the most famous criminal in, I'll call it American history. Infamous.
Okay.
That may be an exaggeration.
Right.
I don't know, but
No.
certainly one of the most famous criminals spent one night at the Hamilton County Jail on the square in Noblesville. Who was it?
One more time.
Not Al Capone.
Was
Not Dillinger. It was in
Was
the
it- is it-
1960s.
No, 1960s.
Okay.
So John Wayne Gacy.
No.
That's a good. That's a
Damn
good.
it.
He's still alive
Okay.
and was recently married.
Okay. Oh,
Wait,
I know it then.
Well, we got to get
We've
someone who.
got an
calls in.
answer. We got an answer.
All right.
So Steve at MCD20
That's Rieger, by the way.
Rieger, Steve Rieger.
Okay.
It's great that you know all of your listeners by name.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Manson.
Both of them. Marilyn or Charles?
Charles.
Correct.
Charles Manson. What was he doing here? Why?
He was a vagrant.
Okay.
So real quick, both
Well,
Luis,
amongst other things,
I
he
think
was a
he's-
vagrant.
he has
Luis
an
and Steve
Indiana
need to
connection.
follow us on Twitter so that I can DM them the information on how to get tickets.
I think
Or
they're
you can just
qualified.
email me, peter@indy11.com.
As you get like 19 emails. Oh, hey, my name's Luis. Can I have tickets?
Oh, I'm not giving Luis the tickets. That's from Colluder. I'm giving Steve
Oh, okay.
Rieger my tickets.
Steve Rieger. Email Peter Wilt, peter@indy11.com to get your tickets. Luis, follow us so I can DM you the information on how to get
So anyway,
tickets.
so he's a vagrant.
I don't know. Look it up. I mean, he's
Oh,
got,
okay. Oh, no fucking follow up. I get it. You got me all like I'm tantalized here. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he's
ooh,
really
ooh, I want to know. And no, all I got is
it
just
was
the quick
one
part.
night.
Right.
I mean,
I got the cliff note.
it's
version.
not like he
Yeah.
murdered someone and they kept him in jail for one night.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. So is that
I think we're
I
we're
want to keep
ready.
you. Yep. I don't want to keep you, Peter. I know you got a friend coming in and are here already.
Stu Berman.
Stu
Berman.
Berman.
Is he in the house?
I don't know. Stu Berman, you in the house?
Paging Stu Berman.
No.
Stu Berman.
Yes? No?
No.
Oh, okay. There's Stu right
is that
there.
Stu Berman? Oh, it's Stu Berman. You could come up and sit if you'd like. We don't know who Stu Berman
He's
is.
here
but
all the way from San Francisco.
Stu Berman looks slightly
Or
jet
San
lagged
Jose.
and unenthralled to be up here. But
He
there's
just had dinner with Brad Ring. Maybe
Oh.
you can give some inside information
Stu.
on Brad
Very
Ring.
nice to meet you. Oh, speaking
Nice
of
to meet
insider information, don't you're not.
Yeah,
just
you're not off
escaping.
the you're off the air yet.
So signing, the signing.
Stu is our signing.
Stu is
Yeah,
our
Stu!
signing all the way.
Front office.
Stu, you look in great
Stu,
shape,
you
sir.
look like a fantastic striker.
I would say heading is your specialty. Okay.
It's mine too.
All right. So we have waited, and all those who have been listening, watching, we're gonna have breaking news here live. Mr. Peter Wilt, who is the newest signing for Indy 11? Me.
Are we going to have any guesses?
Oh, do we have any guesses?
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
do
we
we
have
have
any
guesses?
guesses to give away?
Wait, I literally said this and I got shot down. It was like, that's a terrible idea. Okay.
Yep. We have a
Half-eat
last
pizza.
slice of pizza.
If you can guess, Peter will ship this to you in a
I'm
box.
gonna eat it right now while we're
And if you open it, you have to at least say, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" Oh, never mind. Andy ate it. It's
I got
over.
it. I got it.
Okay.
We're really pleased to bring back to Indy 11 this year, Charlie Rugg from the
Oh,
Los
listen to
Angeles
this guy.
Galaxy.
It's basically at the beginning of the show, he's like, "Well, he went back to LA Galaxy, and we can't get him now." So
He
blah,
called
blah,
this
blah.
actually before we
I
got in
did
there.
call
He goes, "I think it's Charlie Rugg," and I was like,
Good answer. You win the prize. You get the pizza.
Hey, yay! Free pizza.
Now, we're excited. I mean, Charlie obviously did a great job last year when he was here. And again, he's going to complement our other forward options. He strikes fear in visiting teams' defenses. And it's an outstanding addition. We're very pleased. I think.
Are we playing two up the front now?
Jurgen's been going with 4-4-2, and I think it's very likely that will continue.
"That's amazing. I'm good. This has been great." So we're excited. We're ready. Thursday again. If you guys are available, please make sure you get downtown. Let's get that going and get prepared. Yes.
Another thing, kind of operational news.
Yep.
Just for the season of the podcast, we're really excited that Josh Mason, who is essentially kind of like our producer in the skies, he has got us a new board for the show and some speakers. So for those of you who are in the area that are listening, that want to come to Fisher's Chatham Tap and want to be a part of the show, we're actually going to start
We'll be
broadcasting the
live.
show into the bar so that you can be a part of it. You can come up, ask questions, be a part of winning tickets and some merchandise and stuff here.
We've also hired security, so that no, I'm just kidding.
I am the security, basically.
Yep.
But we're really excited about the season. We're going to have a lot of great guests. We're going to try to make it a weekly show to like kind of every other week, try to have the show live here. And then the other weeks kind of have it at a home office. Yeah, as a call-in for people to kind of put their 2 cents in about how the season's going and things like that. So we're really excited about some of the things that we're going to be doing for the podcast this
I
year.
appreciate everything you guys have done to promote soccer in Indiana. And it's fun stuff. It's a great informal way to share information. And I look forward to listening in the weeks ahead.
Peter, we appreciate it.
Peter, I'm going to check to see if you actually listened.
Huh?
What?
If you see Peter Wilt out, give him the hug, because this guy is one of the best huggers in the world. I'm going to say that.
Give him about 3-4 slaps.
Charlie
and you're gonna get
Stilitano is number one. But
all right.
I have no idea
Italian.
who the hell that is.
That sounds good. All right.
Charlie's a great hugger.
So the next question is, who's the best hugger Peter knows? Okay. All right.
Thank you. PermanentRelegation.com. New website's up. Listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all that kind of good stuff. Follow us on Twitter at PR Podcast Show.
This is ridiculous that the last minute and a half you were sitting here doing a show with your mouth stuffed with Peter's
Can't even tell.
pizza.
Can't even tell right now.
Mouth stuffed with Peter's pizza. Done. Done. Game over. Goodbye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
No plugs for my Blatz hat.
Oh, and Peter with the Blatz hat.
There it is. The last
We're still live. What about the
We're still
Blatz
live.
hat? Give it to us.
Blatz hat.
Yes, sir.
Do it.